time of year where we're starting to think about decorating for the season. And this year, I thought it'd be fun to make some ornaments to add to my Christmas tree. And these are gonna be super easy, quick projects that you can do even with your kids or your grandkids. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. So these are the ornaments that we're gonna be making. These are smaller versions that I made out of some scraps. So you can absolutely use your scraps, or you can get some glitter paper from the 12 by 12 cardstock shop, because this is going to be absolutely gorgeous. So these little ornaments will just kind of hang on the tree, and you can make these out of a whole bunch of different types of shapes. So this case, it was clouds. I was just kind of experimenting. I've seen people do stars. This is an interesting shape because unlike the circle or the star, it's not symmetrical. And so you get a little bit of a different look when you're looking at something like this. Now in experimenting, I prefer the ornaments that have an even number of circles. I think they just look better from the top because you have the even number than the odd number like this one. I feel like there's a spot missing right here because this is an odd number of circles. So that's something that you can talk about with whatever kid you're gonna make these ornaments with. You can talk about what the difference between even and odd is. You can talk about why a circle is a unique shape. It has no sides. It doesn't have any points. You can also, if you do other shapes, for example, if you did a star like this, you could talk about how many points of the star, you can count them, that kind of thing. One question I would ask is, how can you tell when something is even versus odd? You can also talk about, this is a semicircle, and if you fold it again, it's a quarter of a circle. You can bring halves and wholes into that conversation. So just a super easy project. I have here 10 2.5-inch circles. That's something you can also do, is count out. There's 10, talk about how even, and taking one away would be odd. So I've got 10 circles here that I just folded in half. And these are the WAGON, Red WAGON Mirri Sparkle No Mess glitter paper. Now these are truly no mess. You don't get any glitter on your fingers or anything. And to note, this is paper and not cardstock, which is an important distinction when you're doing folding projects. Cardstock is going to be very hard to fold, while paper is going to look very beautiful when it's folded. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue. You're going to add a line of glue from the outside to the inside, cutting that half circle in half, that semicircle in half. And then you're going to take them and you're going to line them up so that they're even on all edges. This one I did not do a good job of lining up, and I can kind of tell. So just be aware. And I like to do this in batches. So I will go through and I will add a line of glue on each of the circles. That way it's got a little bit of extra time to dry, and it doesn't take as long to dry for this project. You can always experiment with the number of circles that you choose to use. I think 8 is a good number for this 1.5-inch circle. You could do more and it would be a little bit more round. I don't know that I would do any less than 8 with this project. Again, just lining it up, making sure that everything is on center and it's looking good. Just like that. So you can have the kids help punch out or die cut out these circles. You could use your Cricut or Silhouette electronic die cutting machine to get these. You can see already how much fuller this looks compared to this other one. And I've got a binder clip to hold it together while it dries. Now while it dries, you can go ahead and pick some string, which I have this here, and 9 inches of string. It's because it has to go around the branch of the tree. So I want to make sure there's enough room to go around the branch and not ruin this string. So we're going to take our glue and we're going to glue this piece inside the middle here. And that's something that you can talk about with the kids too. Where would be the middle of the circle? Where would I want to put this so it hangs evenly? And they're gonna say the middle, but how do you tell where the middle is? Well, that's where all of those folds come into play. So I'm going to just add some glue kind of down the spine, if you will. Then I'm gonna attach my piece of string, and I'm gonna do that to both sides here. So then I can create a loop, and then I'm going to add my glue, just like we did with the others, with a straight line right down the middle. And then I'm gonna close the whole thing up. And voila, we have a cute little ornament. Isn't that just gorgeous with this glitter paper? So you can do this with a whole bunch of different types of paper. You can opt to use solid core paper so that you don't see this white line. I personally like the white line. I feel like it gives a little bit more Christmas vibe. Then I like to tie on the top just like this, and you may need to finagle your string a little bit here and there to give it a little bit of more of a finished look. And then a thing that you can have littles do is use a bead threader to thread your string. It's very good for their fine motor skills. And in this case, the circle on this bead is a little too thin, so I'm gonna need to find a different bead. Let's try this red one, and there you go. And then you can choose to do this two ways. You can either leave it open, and then when you put the branch in, you can snug it to the branch with that bead, or you can tie it off. And in my case, I'm going to tie it off because either I'm going to add this directly to the branch, or I'm going to add a hook to add it to my branch. But isn't that just adorable? I really like how this turned out. And this is a fun, easy project to do with anybody, any age. For more paper crafting tutorials, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with the 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop.